Hi, my name is Michael E. and have another video for you today. This video has to do with the body, and it's that your body radiates your energy and identity. So this is more than just someone that's smiling or not smiling. It's that your energy shapes matter. So as you're going through your developmental stages, let's look at this. This is my old chart. As you're going through your developmental stages, things have to happen in your body, and your container, your body container is formed up until 3 years old, and then after three, it's when you're like a little person, and now you're going to connect with the opposite sex parent for the identity and connectiveness of your spirit. And then from 5 to 7, you are engaging in more relations with the opposite sex parent. They're taking you to go get, I don't know, candy, or you do things together with them. And that's like a bonding that prepares you for when you do have a relationship in your adult life. But any distortions that happen in any of the stages of development can augment your body. Okay? They can augment your body. And I had done this before, but this is kind of a recap as well, so that you could see how things work with the energy as well. When I've done this before, it's more the character defenses. But in interpersonal relationships, one type of person goes with a different type of person so that they can maintain their character defense. Most people think that they're getting together because they love someone. That's not really what's happening. You're getting together because that one keeps your character defense going. And we're going to go through that a bit too if time permits. But let's start with body types. We'll start with the masculine. The one body type that a lot of women gravitate towards is when the man has kind of this type of body type, where the shoulders are broad and it has a small waist. And the reason why this is interesting is because a lot of guys that work out, that they get the upper body big, and then they got two little pencil legs at the bottom, and they got a small ass. That part of the body, the lower torso, is where you're near the gut area, and let's say the bum area is area where the spirit is, above the bum area, but like your gut. So this energy is the upward energy. And these people can also end up being narcissists or psychopaths, because you could tell the pronounced body. If you could see this in the body, you know that they're upward, and then they're going to attract someone who is, again, looking at the guy with the eyes in the upward. So they're going to be looking to get the covert narcissist. So if someone is a narcissist, they will have this type of body shape. Psychopaths have big eyeballs. Big eyeballs. This is something that happens in the body of a psychopath. Big eyeballs. Because remember, they never connected properly in the pregenital stage. So for them, they have to immediately leave the body, and they're taking in information because they're not connected to the spirit. Because remember, the spirit is your infinite, and that's in your torso. So their eyes get very big, and they get very judgmental. In fact, you can even see some psychopaths have the darkness around their eyes too, and it's like an intimidating eyes. You could see this very evidently in Ted Bundy. And another thing about Ted Bundy too is Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy has the same voice as Carl Sagan, and they look similar too. You know, that's really pretty interesting. Okay, that's one body type. Now, when someone is between the 1.5 to 3 years of age as a masculine, if the mother pushed the no out of the person, what you're going to have is, like, normally I draw that person like this. However, a more accurate is if you looked at the Incredible Hulk. If you looked at the Hulk, they have this larger, wider frame, and what ends up happening is that it's trying to push out that head, and it's creating an expanse in the body, and they don't have a neck. So these people have no neck. Okay, and it's like a big, massive trunk of the body. They have a lot of gas, so they perspire. A lot of perspiration, oily skin. Remember, they're always boiling. And maybe they don't shower. Don't shower or odor. These are all aspects of this character defense. And why is that not only did the mother take away the no, and the person can't smile, they have like a closed, straight mouth. Or they smile, or this fake smile for mommy. But also the anus is stuck to contain the energy inside. So besides not saying no on the mouth, they're saying no to the anus. The anus is stuck. Becomes one big pot and it's boiling. A lot of boiling water in here. Okay, that's 1.5 to 3. I know I'm jumping around a bit, but you know, like I said, when I do these videos, there's really no organized direction except for maybe a few verses that definitely going to speak about. I print those out and the name. So what happens between 6 months and a year and a half? 6 months and a year and a half. This is the mirroring stage. Mirroring. And in the mirroring stage, the trauma here is the body, the container of the body is not full. The container of the body has a leak. So they'll have rubbery skin. Skin. And it looks like the skin is melting almost. Skin melting on the body. Melting on body. They could have a head with a arched forward back. It's like if they're laying down, they're trying to lift their head. So if you take this, you'll see that they have this pronounced area here where they're kind of leaning forward sometimes. But they're leaning forward. They have oral problems. They have problems with their mouth, like teeth problems. Oral. They might have speech issues. And this is the mirroring stage. So if the child is undercharged, the container is not made, because remember, our bodies are containers of water, and in the different states of water is what we have. Earlier when I was talking about the person that was the boiling person, well, his water is boiling. This person is leaking. So this person has to constantly get fed to have their sense of self. Models. This is big for models. They have this vacuous energy about them, like they really like sucking in all the energy in the room. These oral people too talk forever. Talk. As they're talking, you could feel your life force being taken away from you. And I had said this in another video. I went to a bar with this. I I had a first date with this woman who was a Reiki master, and we went to this bar, and I'm somewhat perceptive on a lot of things because of all this. So of course, going to a date with a Reiki person, you never know what might happen. So there was another woman there talking to a guy, and the second I passed by them, I said, "Oh my goodness, this guy's too oral. He is sucking the life force out of her." Sure enough, within a minute or two, she literally hit the floor and passed out. Passed out on the floor. Now, any onlooker would think that something happened, it's really bad, but because once you know the body and the energy, you know why people do things, you know why things happen. So I waited a little bit to see if anybody would help. The Reiki master just sat there frozen. They're calling ambulances, and it's going to be a bad thing for this girl because now she's got this public shame now. So women are very critical on how they are perceived. So she's going to be a total train wreck if they come there with the oxygen, and forget it. This will take months and years of therapy to decompress. So anyway, I knelt down. I got her up and standing in less than 2 minutes, and she was totally cognitive. Everything was okay because know why she hit the floor. She thanked me profusely, and I got into a fight with the Reiki person. She slammed my door and left. But the point is that energy shapes matter. She didn't have enough energy. She was thin. So she needed energy because she had the model kind of look. So she needs energy too. But the other guy was really sucking the life force out of her. So this is what happens when, in this age, the leaking energy, they need more energy. Now, in the mirroring stage, if the other thing happens, which is the mother gives too much attention, the mirroring stage is really a good place where narcissism is formed. Like bad narcissism. Everybody has a bit of narcissism in them. I mean, everybody needs some sort of attention. Everybody needs glory. We need it. We're humans. But the idea is to do everything for glory is different than to need like healthy glory. Everybody wants to be patted on the back and say, "Hey, you did a good job." But in this point, the leaking energy or over mirroring creates a situation where now the child is put on the pedestal. Okay, so here's the pedestal, the body, and the head now starts heading in the upward direction. So to keep that head in the upward direction, it's going to need constant praise, glory, and it's going to endeavor and work and get that glory from other people, and it'll get that from the feminine component of either the rigid character defense or the pregenital character defense, and also the one that's the suppressed head. So that's mirroring. The next one is bonding. Backwards. Before birth is 6 months. What happens with the water there is that this is where there's tension. This is schizoid character defense. This is where there's a lot of tension in the very, very young time, and the baby's body has not formed yet. So its water is like fragmented crystals in the sky or vapor. It never gets into the body. Believe it or not, these people are very creative. Artists, singers, and they can't get it together because they're still in the world of the spirit. They have not inhabited the body yet. Their energy's not here. They can't write checks. They can't pay their bills. They can't do things on time. And it takes a tremendous amount of patience to teach them to be on earth. Tremendous amount of patience. A lot of energy you got to expend with them. But they're creative. And the thing is that these people also make bad decisions on a lot of stuff. And they have a lot of mental anger. Anger. They can't diffuse the anger. And here's another thing. Let me just chat about a bit. I know I'm all over the place, but again, this is how it's going to go. You're going to pick up parts of this somewhere. When you're in a relationship, what happens is I keep saying the head is our masculine and the body's our feminine. If there's a disconnect between your head and your torso, what ends up happening is as you go through life during the day, all kinds of things hit you. And when these things hit you, the way it's supposed to work is it's going to diffuse into the body, into the feminine, and the spirit gets rid of it. Okay? The spirit gets rid of it. The infinity, it's like the spirit is like the black hole of your bad situations. So if it does not connect into the feminine and get cleansed out by the spirit, then what happens is that this bounces around in the head. So this is where the head now starts getting hot and you have mental anger. They can't let things go. When you can't let things go, it's evidence that you're not connected to your feminine part of your body, and that will also reflect on how you deal with things if you're the man and you have a woman. Because the woman is set up where her power is in the torso. So as you communicate with her, she makes it better for you. Because then it gets into the power of her spirit, and then that gets discharged into infinity. See, women can take that. So your relationship with a woman on if something goes wrong and how you interact with her and how she takes that away from you is going to tell you what's going on in your own body. What happens in your body is manifested in the woman. Or what's happening in the woman is really what's happening in your body. It's, I don't know, you want to call it ratio or they're interdependent. They work together like that. So these people, they're not in their head. They can't dissipate even. They're not in their head. They have sex just so that they can feel the sense of the body. You know, they're undercharged energy. The container, there's nothing going on in the container. Now let's jump to the pregenital is from 3 to 5 years of age. And that one is pretty simple. If there's a problem there, generally the masculine, the head goes upward. The more it goes up, you can even get lawyers. Yeah. You get fighter pilots. You know, you can endeavor things in your life and you have no idea that what you're doing in work has to do with your character defenses. You know, your endeavors, what you like, is a mirror of what's going on inside your body. So 3 to 5 is when you're supposed to connect with your opposite sex parent. You are showing them your drawings, and that is the beginning of the connectivity with the spirit within the torso. If you do not connect here, you're going straight up. This is where the psychopath and narcissists are solidified. Next is 5 to 7. So this is the one where the men have the V body shape. The women can have a pear shape here. A pear shape. A pear. Like it's the opposite. Because remember, the woman now, the masculine energy is outward. The feminine energy is inward. So when the masculine does something and it's in a distortion, it's where does that outward energy go? Same thing with the woman. If she's in a certain distortion, where's that inward energy go? Like had said, the masculine narcissist, they need, for them to separate their head, they need the glory. So for them to get the glory, the omnipotence, they need to lift their head structure with praise and glory. And for the man, you know, you won't see the difference in the neck. But when the woman gets that same praise and glory, her neck literally gets longer. Her neck does get longer because she's not normally in the head. She's not normally in the head. The man's normally in the head. His neck would not look longer. But her body shape, she's not normally in the head. And they have these faces that seem like the neck is larger and the face is smaller. And here's another one for feminists. Attractive feminists, they have a very peculiar look to them. And if you ever look at their forehead, they have a perfect slope and a receded hairline. They have like a bowling ball, super smooth front slope. All the attractive feminists that I've ever seen all have that same slope. I have not seen one woman that did not have that slope. That's an attractive feminist. Attractive feminist, not the unattractive ones. You'll see the hairline seems like it's a little bit further back, and you'll see like this perfect sphere. And my thing is that this part of the head is not inhabited too much, unless they're getting so much, feminist energy, and it burns the hair and smooths it out. Smooths out the head. That's a very big thing for the female feminists. You can see it a mile away. Like the psychopaths have the big eyeballs, and the eyeballs have like anger in them. So you're angry. You have those angry eyes looking at them. Now the next one is 5 to 7 years age, and this is the rigid character defense. The rigidity is exactly what it seems when you see people have like this overcompensation to stand up straight, like military. They stand up straight. Military, they have problems with their neck problems. They can't turn their neck. That thing is like frozen solid. And the reason why they're frozen solid is that they've made it through all the character defenses, and here's where they're stuck, because as their sexuality radiated between 5 and 7 years, the opposite sex parent was intimidated and they froze up. Everything's frozen. So for them too is perfectionism. Everything's got to be perfect. They're very organized. They look like they have it together. And they can mold their body and mold themselves to whatever they need if they're in the feminine. The rigid women, is a good place where covert narcissism is capable, because she has a plan. Whereas the oral, which was the 6 months to a year and a half, they don't have a plan. They just need that energy. This one will give you energy for a plan. Covert narcissism is in the rigidity. These people also have arrogant too. They have beady eyes, small little eyes. And wise, because they don't need to take in anything. They already know everything. They don't need big eyes. Remember, the narcissist needs big eyes. He needs to take in, or the psychopath needs to take in information. This person doesn't need to do that. And so different defenses work with each other. Like a rigid character defense would end up being with a narcissist, because the rigid character defense has the plan and can work the narcissist. And I use my favorite example for this is like Trump and Melania. Trump and Melania is just, she can work what Trump needs, but she's going to have to eat a lot of things she doesn't want. So they poison their body when they do this. Most relationships are really a character defense being attracted to a different character defense that kind of keeps the people in their prison. Because you see, When someone is in the narcissist state, they do not want truth. They need the lie to maintain that narcissism. And the rigid character defense merchandises their body for the narcissist. So they are giving them the lie. Both these people have no spirit of truth. They don't have it. There is no truth in this relationship. The narcissist is in fact deceived. Later, when this person breaks up, the rigid, covert narcissist woman breaks up with him. Oh yeah, she can have a laundry list of things that he did wrong. He did this thing, but give me my $3 million. Give me my $33 million. Give me my $333 million. Because when they get you, at the end, they'll win. But the narcissist is constantly punishing. Because the narcissist has to maintain that head structure to not connect back with the body. Same thing with the psychopath. It's just they do it differently. The narcissist is a successful psychopath. The psychopath doesn't have the success that the narcissist does. So this is the rigid character defense. Again, the females can change their body to anything. The men standing upright in attention. They have neck problems, perfectionism, organization. They have it together. They look perfect. They look absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. Everything's perfect. The life is. They'll get you the perfect gift. They'll show up on time. They'll do perfect. Everything is organized. If you want to mess them up, rearrange their furniture. Go to their house and start touching their stuff and move everything a millimeter or a centimeter or like a 16th of an inch. All you got to do is just touch it. They know you moved it. Because these people are blind. They only have comfort when they have control over everything around them. That's the only time they have comfort. That's why these people in business do not like competition. These people are very, they have a lot of money. The men in they can have a lot of money in business. They hate competition. Actually, this video can be like hours long. I know I'm jumping around a bit, but you're going to start getting this as you see it again and again, because the body types don't lie. The body types don't lie. When you see someone that looks like the Hulk and there's no neck, you can see that they have a lot of masochist tendencies. They're going to attract people. They're going to hurt them. When you see the masculine with it looks the exclamation point, you got to worry about that. That's a warning. No ass. No ass means, there's a lot of anger down there. There's like no energy down there. All the power is up. The oral character defense, which is, again, 6 months to a year and a half. 6 months to a year and a half, it becomes leaking energy. And this mirroring stage can also start the arc of the narcissist. When the mother says, oh, you're so beautiful, even though the child is not as beautiful, or you do everything perfect, they're expanding the child's space before that part of the body, before that part of the energy is necessary. You can't expand the space too much, because then they start taking like a balloon and start arcing upward. We're probably going to get cut off, which like most of my videos are cut off. But frozen, in the sky, blocked up energy, leaking, and this one is fragmented.